Welcome students to the halogen derivatives of alkanes. In last lectures we have seen what is meant by halogen derivatives. Then we have seen the classification of halogen derivatives. After that we have seen the nomenclature of halogen derivatives. And today we are going to see the methods for the preparation of halogen derivatives. As we know, in this particular topic we are going to concentrate on halogen derivatives of alkanes and halogen derivatives of arenes, that is aromatic compounds. So we are interested in halogen derivatives of alkanes. Now when we say halogen derivatives of alkanes, we are going to see monohalogen derivatives of alkanes. When I say monohalogen derivatives, it means the compounds obtained from alkanes by replacing one hydrogen atom of alkane by one halogen atom. And these monohalogen derivatives of alkanes may be primary alkyl halides or secondary alkyl halides or tertiary alkyl halides. Now we are going to see today the methods for the preparation of these monohalogen derivatives of alkanes. Now as we know, in this monohalogen derivatives of alkanes, we have the halogen atom. It may be chlorine, it may be bromine, or it may be iodine. So when you take alkanes and when you carry out the halogenation of alkanes, that means chlorination or bromination or iodination, you may get the monohalogen derivatives of alkanes. So we will see the first method by which we can prepare these halogen derivatives of alkanes, and that is chlorination. Now in chlorination we are going to take any alkane. Say for example, if I take any alkane, that is RH, R is an alkyl group to which the hydrogen atom is attached. Now when this alkane is taken and this alkane is treated with chlorine, for the chlorination we will take chlorine. When it is treated with chlorine, you get hydrogen atom replaced by chlorine and you get RCl plus HCl. RCl plus HCl. So this hydrogen atom of alkane is replaced by chlorine. Now this particular reaction takes place in presence of sunlight. So this is a light catalyzed reaction. Now when you take light, if you take light in more quantity, then the hydrogens will be replaced and you will get only the dihalogen or trihalogen or tetrahalogen derivatives, etc. If you cut the light, then the reaction will take place in a moderate speed. So we have to cut a certain amount of light, and therefore we are going to use diffused sunlight or ultraviolet light. So when you take diffuse sunlight or ultraviolet light, then the reaction will take place easily and you get the product, that is RCl, that is alkyl chloride. If the same reaction is carried out in dark condition, then the reaction may not take place. So this is the disadvantage of this particular reaction. That means if you take a certain amount of light, then and then only you are going to get the product. If the light is increased, then all the hydrogens of alkanes will be replaced by chlorines. Okay, and if you carry out this particular reaction in a darker space, then you don't get the product. Okay, so this is a light catalase reaction and this is a free radical substitution reaction. That means when light is incident on the chlorine breaks homolytically and you get chlorine free radical, which we have seen in the 11th standard, and that free radical, it attacks the on alkane and you get alkyl chloride as the product. The second disadvantage of this particular reaction is that when you take, suppose say for example, if you take methane CH4, and when chlorine free radical, which is obtained by homolytic fission of this chlorine, the chlorine free radical is obtained and that chlorine free radical combines and you get CH3 methyl free radical plus HCl. Now these methyl free radicals may combine with other methyl free radical so that you will get CH3 free radical plus CH3 free radical, and you will get CH3 CH3, that is ethane. So this is one more disadvantage, that instead of getting the methyl chloride, or you may say alkyl chloride, you may get the higher alkane also. So this is not a convenient method for the preparation of alkyl chloride. So chlorination, direct chlorination of alkane is not a convenient method, but we have seen this particular method in the 11th standard, so I have taken this particular method. Then instead of chlorine, if you take bromine, and when you carry out the bromination, so when bromination is carried out, again we'll take alkane, and this is treated with bromine, that is Br2, alkane RH plus Br2, that is bromine. So you get RBr plus HBr. So the hydrogen of alkane is replaced by bromine, and you get alkyl bromide as the product. Now for this particular reaction, the catalyst which is used is AlBr3. Aluminium tribromide is a catalyst, and you get alkyl bromide as the product. Now this particular reaction is also not convenient method, because it is possible that the dihalogen or trihalogen or tetrahalogen derivatives are also possible. So reaction may continue. Therefore this method is also not convenient method. Now iodination, that is alkane is taken and this is treated with iodine. This we have already studied in 11th standard, chlorination, bromination, and now iodination. Now when iodination is carried out, when you take alkane and this alkane is treated with iodine, okay, theoretically we'll say what will happen. When alkane reacts with iodine, what will happen? Theoretically we will say that hydrogen atom of alkane will be replaced by iodine, and you will get Ri plus Hi. So you will get alkyl iodide and hydroiodic acid. Okay, this is a theoretical reaction, but practically when we carry out this particular reaction, what happens? The byproduct Hi, that is hydroiodic acid, this hydroiodic acid is a strong reducing agent. Hydroiodic acid is a strong reducing agent, and we know reducing agent means the agent which helps in reduction, that is addition of hydrogen. So what happens? This hydroiodic acid, this combines with Ri, that is alkyl iodide, and again you get alkane back. So this is a reversible reaction. So it is not possible to get alkyl iodide by this particular reaction, because Hi which is there, this Hi will again react with alkyl iodide, and you will get back the alkane. So what should be done? When you carry out this particular reaction, what you have to do, you have to see that this Hi, which is a reducing agent, should not be found in this particular reaction. And Hi is a reducing agent. So if you want to remove this Hi from the reaction mixture, then we will have to take a certain amount of this oxidizing agent, and that oxidizing agent, it may be HgO, that is mercury oxide, or HiO3 or HNO3. And when you take such oxidizing agents, then and then only this Hi will not be formed and you will get the reaction. So this particular reaction is carried out in presence of HgO or HiO3 or HNO3. We will take one example. Say for example, we will carry out this particular reaction in presence of HgO, that is mercury oxide. Okay, so suppose if I take ethane, CH3 and CH3, any alkane, I have taken ethane, and this ethane is treated with iodine in presence of HgO. mercury oxide. Okay, so what will happen? We are interested in getting the alkyl iodide, that is ethyl iodide will be the product. CH3, CH2 and I. Ethyl iodide will be the product. Okay. Now what happens when this ethyl iodide is formed? The oxygen which is present will combine with the hydrogen atom which is replaced, and you will get H2O. Now for the formation of H2O, we require two hydrogens, and one alkane gives one hydrogen, so we will have to take two alkanes so that you will get H2O. And when you get two alkanes, then you will get the two alkyl iodides. Okay, then when two alkyl iodides are formed, two iodines are used. Okay, and now what will happen? This Hg and iod, it will form HgI2. So we will require overall 4 iodine atoms so that you will get the balanced reaction. Now if you look this particular reaction, you will find this Hi which is obtained by direct iodination is not obtained over here. So this reaction is possible when iodination is carried out. We have to carry it out in presence of either HgO or HiO3 or HNO3. Okay, so this is the first method by which we can prepare these alkyl halides. Okay, in next lecture we are going to see the second method for the preparation of these alkyl halides. This method is also we have studied in 11th standard. Okay, and that is addition of hydrogen halide to alkenes. Okay, so we will see in the next lecture. Thank you very much.